Hey guys, welcome back, and today we are playing a whole different game. This is World of Warships. I don't just play War Thunder, every now and again I like to play a different game, and World of Warships is one of the ones I enjoy. I started the game by playing the Japanese line, the Japanese destroyer line, and that's where I'm furthest in right now. This is the Tier 7 Japanese destroyer, the Hatsuharu. I also have up to Tier 7 in the US cruisers, and I've also started now with the US destroyers, which I'm up to Tier 5, I think it is, the Nicholas, and the Japanese battleships. I've started working on those as well. I'm up to the Congo. But this is the Hatsuharu. It's a destroyer, a Japanese destroyer, and so your job is to stay undetected and launch torpedoes at everything. The detection range of this ship is 6.5 kilometers. So if I get within 6.5 kilometers of someone, I'll be detected, as has happened here. I don't want to be detected, so I turn around and head away for a little while. Make sure this destroyer stops spotting me. But I do want to get into about the middle of the map, so that I can try to find their battleships and hopefully put some torpedoes into them. The enemy team has 4 battleships, our team has 3, but I don't mind if the enemy has more battleships if I'm in a destroyer, because that means more targets for me. Going after battleships is usually the easiest thing to do in the destroyer, at least a Japanese destroyer, because you can just launch torpedoes at them and they'll never see you, and battleships are obviously big. They take a while to change directions, and so it's easier to get torpedoes hits on them. So, I'm moving into the middle of the map. There's a York up here. Maybe I'll be able to put some torpedoes into him. And on the mini-map you can already start seeing the battleships start to appear in the northwest corner. So that's about the direction I want to go into. There's too many destroyers here on the eastern side of the map, and Japanese destroyers aren't really that great at fighting other destroyers, so I don't want to get stuck in there. The enemy team has some, I think, American and Russian destroyers, and those are better at killing other destroyers than the Japanese destroyers are, so not getting involved in that. Instead, moving along to the west. Now this York is inside my torpedo range, but from the way he's going to be moving and the distance, I don't think I'm going to be able to get a hit on him, so I'm not going to launch yet. And I'm thinking that I'm probably not going to launch at all at him, because I know he's going to turn in between those islands and he'll probably just dodge all my torpedoes. So I'd rather not give away my position yet by firing the torpedoes, and instead I'm just going to let him go and instead start going straight for a beeline for these destroyers. Not destroyers, battleships. They're my focus. Now the Hatsuharu, it's a pretty good destroyer if you ask me, but then again, is it really that much better than the Minakaze at Tier 5? I'd say no. Your torpedoes do more damage, that's true, but the Minakaze has more torpedoes, I believe, or at least it fires 3 salvos of 2, and this fires 2 salvos of 3, and the Minakaze reloads a lot faster. But it's just like the upgrade from the Minakaze to the Mutsuki isn't really much of an upgrade either, but it's all just to get to the higher tiers, I guess. Of course, the good thing about being at these higher tiers is that the battleships have a lot more health, and so there's a lot more hit points to be taken. Okay, so here we go. Torpedoes away. First salvo is I launch it right on the aim helper thingy, and the second salvo I aimed a little bit behind it, so if he starts turning away, then that salvo that was aimed behind will hit. But I have a feeling this guy's not going to be turning too much, so hopefully all those torpedoes will hit. Keeping my eyes open for the next target. I'm probably going to go for this Fuso back here once my torpedoes have reloaded, which takes a while with the ship. It's one of the downsides. Watching my torpedoes here, they look good, especially those lead group, and there we go. 4 torpedo hits caused some flooding, and he's lost a lot of his health. So he won't be very happy, but I sure am. I do love me some battleships who drive in straight lines. They make my job so much easier. So, still waiting for that torpedo reload, staying outside the 6.5 kilometer mark. As you can see, I closed to about 7 kilometers to fire that first spread of torpedoes. And that's because I like these torpedoes have 10 kilometer range, but I like to be a lot closer before firing, just because that means your target has less time to change course, and so it's more likely to hit. And if I can do that without being detected, then I may as well. So now our torpedoes have reloaded, and we're gonna go for that Fuso in the back there. There's a destroyer behind us, so I gotta keep an eye out on that I don't get spotted. But for the time being, it's all good. So I'm turning in now to start closing the distance. I have that island between me and the Colorado I hit before, so that I don't get spotted. So we're coming into range, swinging the ship around, getting ready, and fire 1 and fire 2. Launched both of those at the aiming point, and now it's time to turn away. Sadly enough, yes, I just get detected by that battleship around the corner of the island. I quickly get unspotted, but hopefully that battleship wasn't paying too much attention. But if he is, he should start turning straight away. But if he's not, then there's a chance that I'll still be able to hit him. Now that enemy destroyer is getting very, very close, so I activated my speed boost to make sure I keep the distance 6.5 kilometers. I don't want him spotting me, because if he spots me, I'm in a world of hurt, probably. Let's take a look at those torpedoes. I think, yeah, he saw them coming and turned away. Maybe because I got spotted earlier. Probably, I think so. So that was a slight mistake on my part. I should have fired the torpedoes earlier and turned away earlier. But I waited a little bit too long, and that other battleship spotted me. So that's too bad. Now, torpedoes are almost up again, and so we can start thinking about our next launch. I like to spread my targets out a bit, because after you've launched torpedoes at one guy, he's going to be wary of you. He knows he's being hunted, he's been hit hard before, and so he's going to be a lot more cautious. So I like to switch targets every now and again, so that that person isn't aware that there's a destroyer around, and he might just sail straight into my torpedoes. So that's why I'm going for this Fuso this time. And I need to fire these off before I get between that island. So I fire them, and we hope to hit. Now the good thing is there's 2 battleships sailing that way, so there's a chance I could hit either one of them. Always good to spread your chances. Again, still running away. That destroyer, I don't know if he thinks, if he knows that I'm here, but he seems to be trying to hunt me down, so I gotta be very wary of that to keep my distance, because I don't want to get spotted. The strength of these Japanese destroyers is when they're invisible, so I try to stay invisible as much as possible. You do that by staying outside of detection range and not firing your guns. So how are those torpedoes doing? Oh, they look pretty good. Yeah, that's 3 hits. So that is not bad at all. Our damage count is probably adding up nicely now. All these torpedo hits. I'm sure the battleships aren't very happy with me, but it's my job to try to slow these battleships down, because we don't have that many strong ships on this side of the map to help stop them. So someone's gotta nibble away at their health. Well, I think I'm doing a little more than nibbling. I'm more like eating away giant chunks of their health, but it's all the same. So, next spread of torpedoes is out, and now I have to run away because this Furutaka is getting pretty close, and a lot of cruisers are pretty much just as fast as this ship. So, well, the Hatsuharu is a little faster, but only a little bit. If you maneuver, it slows down, and they can catch up to you pretty easily. So If you see someone heading your way, you better start taking moves to get out of the area. As you can see, he also has his plane up, which can also spot you, and so you gotta be careful. Let's see what this spread of torpedoes does though. I was aiming for the Colorado. I want to try to finish him off now. And there we go. Another 2 hits and he's down. Maybe we can get some more hits on that other guy, but no, he saw the torpedoes coming. They were spotted by the Colorado and he's turning away. But that's at least one big battleship down. Now we have to try to take out another one. So I haven't hit this Fuso yet, so he's next on my hit list. Your time has come. So, torpedoes are back up. Let's get ready to fire. Well, not yet. You gotta get closer first. So I'm putting this island between me and the Furataka, so that if he turns closer, there'll be the island between us, so I won't get spotted. And we're going to try to launch at this Fuso, but it's going to be difficult because he's heading pretty much straight towards us, which means he won't have to turn much to dodge these. So I fire a pretty tight spread, and then maybe I'll get 1 or 2 hits. I'm not expecting much. It's always a lot easier to hit them if they're broadside onto you. If they're coming straight at you like this, it's a lot more difficult to hit. But in this case, I really had no choice. I mean, I had to run in this direction. My torpedoes were reloaded, so I may as well fire them. It's not ideal, but it's the best we had. And it looks like they're having a pretty good course, these torpedoes. Should maybe get 1 hit. Let's see, he could dodge them, but he runs into one of them, so still another 10,000 damage, so it's all good stuff. And also the good thing about firing torpedoes at your enemies is that it sometimes forces them to turn, and so it means they can't line up their shots against your teammates as well. Or it puts them broadside onto your battleships, for instance. Either way, it's very annoying for them. So, torpedoes are up. Let's fire my next salvo. Again, he's still pretty much coming straight towards us, but hopefully 1 or 2 of these will hit. And you'd say he'd stop sailing in a straight line by now because I've been firing torpedoes at him, but he still seems to be holding his course pretty steady. But that's all fine by me. Anything that helps me is a good thing. He's turning, but again, I think he could have fit through the middle of these torpedoes, but battleships take a long, the rudder shift time is pretty long, so it takes them a while to adjust their turn. And again, he sails with the side into one of the torpedoes. So although I'm only getting 1 torpedo hit per turn, it is costing him quite a bit of health. And it allows the rest of my team to regroup a bit. It seems we're in the lead now, so we should be able to win this one, I think. But it's been a lot closer than I thought it was, actually. Our right flank didn't do so well. We lost a bunch of cruisers that way. But this flank has gone okay. I've been able to destroy 1 guy, and I've been putting damaging shots into the others. So I'm just waiting to get a good shot. The battleship is turning, so I'm holding my fire until he kind of straightens out. And now that he seems to be straightening out, I launch the torpedoes. Sadly enough, he starts to turn pretty much as soon as I launch them, so I don't have high hopes for this spread of torpedoes. Now again, I'm approaching the map border, and the enemies are pretty close, so I have to be careful not to get spotted. So I'm just going to run away along the map border here and try to stay outside of detection range. So the Fuso turned away from my torpedoes, but it looks like one of these cruisers might be running into them. And here they come. Come on, yes. This looks pretty good. And bang, that's another torpedo hit, and it sinks that cruiser. So that was a nice bit of luck. But that's the good thing about firing your torpedoes into a group of enemies. Even if you miss your intended target, you might just accidentally hit someone else. So that's my second kill. And I've already got quite a lot of torpedo hits now. 12 torpedo hits is definitely not bad. So it's going well. So, torpedoes are back up. Let's fire at this battleship. Hope to hit something. I'm slowing down a bit because I want to stay on the side of these guys, so I don't need to go too far away. Just as long as I stay outside of detection range, it's all good. Sadly, he seems to have turned again, so I think these torpedoes are gonna miss. Unless he turns back into them. Let's take a look. No, they're all gonna go in front of him, so that was maybe not the best launch I've ever done. And a teammate kills him, so it's all good. Now there's just the York who's close. I'd rather go for the battleship, but I can't get to him because the York is in the way, so I'm gonna have to probably try to kill the York first. But we definitely have this game in the hand now, I think. So, I'm choosing to try a widespread because I'm really not sure which way this guy's going to maneuver, so I'm just going to launch a bunch of torpedoes into his general direction and hope that one of them hits. And with cruisers, they don't have as much hit points as battleships. And so, if you just get one hit, that is going to take off a lot of his health. So then, I sometimes elect to do a widespread. It does make them easier to dodge though, which is a shame. But the good news is he's busy shooting at my teammates, so maybe he won't see them coming and he'll run into one accidentally. It happens, but I don't think it's going to happen this time. Nah, he seems to have dodged all those, so that's too bad. The Fuso over there died, and time is almost up now. So, and we're ahead on points, so it seems like we're definitely going to win. It'd be nice if I could get some more torpedo hits on this York, but it's not likely to happen. Our Colorado is in danger of sinking there, so that's a shame. But it's not enough to put them in the lead or anything there. He dies, but we're still ahead on points. So. My torpedoes are reloading, so I try to fire out another salvo. And at this point, I'm thinking about switching to guns and shooting him because the time is almost up. If I pop a smoke screen, which I do now, and start shooting, maybe I'll be able to get some more hits in. But the time is about to run out, and there we go. That's the end of the battle. So we won. I got 12 torpedo hits, and I'd say it was a pretty successful match. 168,000 credits, 2,736 experience. This was the first victory of the day, I think, so you get the bonus. As you can see, I got top of the team. And over 100,000 damage from torpedoes. So that is very, very, very nice. So, that was World of Warships with the Hatsuharu. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment. Tell me if you want to see more of this. Maybe I can do it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.